I'd like to know the difference between being a controlling person and being a creator.
Well, from our perspective, they mean one and the same. But in the vernacular in which you are offering it, often a person who is thought to be, even by themselves and especially by others, as controlling, is someone who is falling in that first category that we were talking about earlier, of wanting to control the conditions around so that they can then observe better feeling conditions and therefore feel good. While an allower is someone who does not try to change any circumstances. Instead, they control only what they give their attention to. And by doing so, they choose or focus upon those things that cause them to offer a vibration that allows their own well-being. Your question hits right at the heart of what we are so much wanting to emphasize, because most people think that deliberate creating is about controlling things. And really, the best way to control or create your own experience is to control your own vibration. And really, controlling your own vibration, that speaks to what allowing is more than any other thing that we could say. Allowing is me looking around my environment, whether it is past, present, or future, and finding things that feel good when I ponder them, and then using those good feeling things as my predominant points of focus so that I can offer a vibration that allows more things like them to come into my experience. The best way to really hear about allowing is to understand the basis of it first, and we'll give that to you here briefly. You already know it, but we'll speak it anyway. You and your physical body are extensions of source energy. Source energy is flowing through you at all times. The more you allow the source energy to flow, the better you feel. The less you allow the source energy to flow, the worse you feel. So what the word allowing means in the highest sense of the word is allowing the source energy to flow. Sometimes people think when we talk about allowing that it means find somebody that's doing something really outrageous and allow it. And we say, well, that's more like tolerating. What allowing really is wanting so much to allow the source energy that is really me to flow through me, to me, and through me, that I'm willing to choose thoughts that allow that to be. So when you are in this place of allowing the source energy to flow, now you are at your height of creativity. In other words, that's when you are allowing the fullness of who you are. You see, who you really are is really, really well and really, really clear-minded and really, really feeling good. Who you really are is someone with excellent timing and fantastic resilience and flexibility. Who you really are is tuned in, tapped in, turned on. That's who you really are. And that's what the allowing really means, allowing the fullness of who I really am to flow. So when you look at something unwanted, and it might be something that you're very justified in feeling your negative emotion about, but nevertheless, as you look at this unwanted thing and you push against it, now you are resisting rather than allowing. So allowing as opposed to controlling. Most people who are trying to control their experience are not even thinking about what they're doing with their own focus or with their own vibration. Instead, they're trying to control conditions around them, which is impossible beyond a very limited scope. You ever tried that? You just get somebody whipped into shape and then they go off and talk to somebody else and they come back and they're all ruined again. Or you just get this one whipped into shape and then that one doesn't, and then you get that one whipped into shape and then that one doesn't. It's like the plate spinning act. You cannot get them all where you need them to be at the same time. And so that's why we do not encourage controlling. We encourage just adjusting your own vibration. And as you do that, every relationship you experience will change into something more pleasing. Sometimes people say, well, allowing is pretty easy when I just think of myself in relationship to the world. But allowing is not so easy when I think about my children or when I think about my parents or when I think about the people I work with. It's harder to allow when they have so many different ideas about the way that they should live. And we say, well, first of all, we don't want you to do it for them. We want you to do it for you. And second, every person, no matter who they are, is multifaceted. You too. There is tremendous vibrational potential within everyone. So when you adjust your vibration, law of attraction is going to match you up, first of all, with those who are a better vibrational match to where you are. Some say, well, I've heard that everything in my experience is a mirror of who I am. And we say, it's a mirror of the vibration that you are predominantly offering. So if you have a relationship with someone and it keeps feeling like it's something that clashes or something that feels uncomfortable, you have to separate yourself from it long enough that you can, in your mind's eye, start creating images that please you and practice those pleasing images longer until they become a more dominant part of your vibration. And when you do that, you will not rendezvous with this person under usual conditions. In other words, your relationship will begin to change even the first day that you make the effort. Did we get to the heart of the difference between controlling and allowing?
Yes. How is it that it can take 45 minutes of talking the talk to feel connected and only take a moment of a thought to feel disconnected?
Because you've practiced the thought of disconnection more, so it's more active in your vibration. And the more connecting thought is not so well practiced. As you practice those better feeling thoughts, they will become more dominant in your vibration until in time, and not so very long from now, you will tell us exactly the opposite. You will say, the thoughts that feel good come so easily to me, and I can hardly remember the last disconnecting thought. They will begin to feel more and more distant. It's all about what's active in your vibration. Thoughts are vibrations. Everything about your past still vibrates. And so when you ponder it, you can go right back to the vibration that was present there. It's because it activates it in your vibration. And once it activates it, now it's in your now point of attraction. And so now things like it begin to come into your experience. Don't you find it interesting when you find a new thought that you haven't thought about much before, and someone in your experience talks about it and encourages you to talk about it, so it's a more active part of your vibration, and then it seems like everywhere you go, you see something about that? That's what that is. It's the activated thought.
What is non-physical wanting to co-create with those of us in the physical?
You have to remember that you are an extension of source energy. You are on the leading edge of thought. So as you are here, allowing through your presence here the exposure to all of this magnificent contrast, which is causing new ideas to be formulated within you, these are new ideas that the entire universe is experiencing. And so when the new idea is born within you, source energy rushes toward the fulfillment of that, and it is enormously satisfying. This workshop is not about any of that. Let us say that in a different way. Source energy understands that the expanding universe is a given. And source energy is joyously part of that expansion. And so when you're in the middle of contrast, great or small, let's say it's great for sake of this example, and a powerful desire is born within you, which means the asking has taken place. And when you ask, it is always given. So now that source energy moves forward toward the fulfilling of that. This inner being, or God source, or whatever you're wanting to call this source energy, is joyous in that expression and in that expansion. This workshop is not about that, because that happens. In other words, you ask and it is given, and that's the co-creative relationship the source energy has with all of this. This workshop is about you getting in on it too. We want you to get yourself into a vibrational place where you can experience the joy of the expansion too. Source energy, inner being, is having it whether you have it or not, whether you allow it or not. The desire being born is what this expanding universe is all about. Physical beings think that it's about the physical expansion, and the physical expansion is inevitable, but it isn't about the physical expansion. It's about the vibrational expansion. When you think about it, all that is your source is not physically focused. In other words, it is a universe of thought. It is a universe of experience. It is a universe of love. It is a universe of joy. And so Jerry asked that question early on of us, what's in it for you, Abraham? And we said, joyous expansion. In other words, what's in it for us is the joy of leading edge beings like you, having leading edge experiences and allowing thought to go where it has never been before.
Is that the greater good that the universe wants, is wanting?
Well, you have to understand that good is the order of all things. And in an expanding universe, it will continue to be more and more. So greater good is inevitable. In other words, when people talk about the greater good, what we're talking about is the art of allowing. Any individual who is focused upon the greater good, our encouragement to them would be get into the place of allowing the source energy that is always good to flow. Well-being really is the order of the day. And sometimes physical beings, physical humans, lose their place in that because you'll watch a news broadcast that's almost all about things going wrong, and it gives you a distorted view. If your news broadcast was really proportionate, if the well-being of your planet was taken into consideration, all of the things that went well, the Earth spinning in its orbit, the perfect balance of the water, the life force in the food, well-being is enormous. If the balance of well-being as compared to those that are, for whatever reason, disallowing the well-being here and there, were put into an hour news broadcast, there'd be a piece of static go across the screen. You say, oh, what was that? What was that? The rest of it would be well-being. It is so huge, you couldn't even factor it into an hour broadcast or a day broadcast or a week broadcast. The comparison is so little, it's just a little piece of static. And you say, oh, something must have gone wrong somewhere. Or you'd say, oh, that represented everything that went wrong everywhere in our society today. Sometimes people think that deliberate creation is really, really hard and that you've got to figure out what you want and you've got to practice those thoughts steadily and you can't have any other thoughts other than those. Many of you practice the science of deliberate creation like you do all of the other hard, laborious, time-consuming things that you've discovered along your physical path. And what we are wanting you to come to the realization of is that practicing the art of allowing, hear that nice new title? Science of deliberate creation, yes. Art of allowing, that's where your emphasis is. Science of deliberate creation, it's a very good name, but it sounds like, science, hard, experiments, laboratories. The art of allowing, softer, easier. I'm going to get into a happy place as much as I can, and therefore be in the place of letting in, as often as possible, the things that I've been telling the universe that I'm wanting. So the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. We are eager to visit with you about anything that is important to you. You will discover a very nice order or unfolding, because as you made your plans to come, you have been vibrationally pondering, and we have received all of that. Sort of like the meeting has already taken place, and now we'll play it back where we can all hear it together. We really want you to focus for a little bit upon the idea of step 1 and step 3 not being the same step. We know that sounds obvious, but sometimes we see you really, really asking for something from your place of really, 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 really wanting it, but you're nowhere near the vibration of allowing it. You are still exaggerating all of the reasons why you want it or all the reasons why you need it. And so we really want you to remember that you are not usually in step 1, which is the asking, and in step 3, which is the receiving, at the same time. And for that reason, as you sit in the hot seat here today, if there's something that you've really been working on that's really been a problem for you, something that you really, really want answers to, you're probably not going to be in the perfect receiving mode while we're visiting here. That's why it is sometimes of great advantage to you if somebody else asks your question. You're more likely to hear the answer to your question when you are not in the place of justifying the place that you stand. So all of this goes in the way of saying, just relax and have a wonderful time here today. It is our absolute promise to you that everything that is important to you, that you've been pondering recently, that you're wanting to know about, even if you have not spoken it out loud, we will chew on here together. And you will recognize your participation even if you do not sit in the hot seat. Affectionately called the hot seat. It's really not hot. Well, it's a little hot.